I'm going to show you a news story about companies trying to suck up to Donald Trump and Donald Trump sticking it right back up their ass. And we're going to then come back and we're going to talk about one specific part of this news story. Watch this.
Last week, Republican Congressman Mike Simpson of Idaho introduced a bill that would rename the Opera House at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. after First Lady Melania Trump. That's not the fun part. The very next day, Republican Congressman Bob Onder of Missouri introduced a bill that would rename the Kennedy Center altogether as the Donald J. Trump Center for the Performing Arts, which does not in any way roll off the tongue. But it also turns out both bills might be against the law. But I don't think actually passing those bills was ever the point anyway. I mean, for months now, we have seen a slew of bills from Republicans just like these that seem to have just one singular purpose: sucking up to Trump. But clearly, this exact brand of flattery, kind of flattery, sticking Trump's name and face on stuff really works on the guy. So it's no surprise when private companies started to try and play the flattery game too. I mean, Semaphore was first to report that private companies had begun launching things like fine porcelain dinnerware with Trump's face on it. Okay. And bed sheets branded as the Mar-a-Lago collection, and snow globes depicting Trump in front of the White House. How soothing. And again, I kid you not on this one, I'm not making any of this up, an Instapot pressure cooker with the Make America Great Again slogan written across the side. Yesterday, the New York Times reported that all of those companies, the dinnerware company, the bedsheet company, the snow globe company, the Instapot, all of those companies are actually owned by the same parent company, a private equity firm called Center Lane Partners, which the Times reports wanted the Trump administration's help with tariffs and a looming antitrust inquiry. Hence the Trump snow globes and MAG Instapots, and you'd think, I guess, Trump would love these things. I mean, look at what Republicans are doing in Congress. This seems like the logical extension of that, right? If you're a private sector company. Turns out, no, it's not. The Trump Organization warned the private equity firm that if any of its companies used the Trump name and trademark without permission, they would have no choice but to take appropriate legal action. Does that mean there will never be a Make America Great Again Instapot? What a great present. That's unclear right now. But we're going to report back on that. We'll stay close on the story. But emails reviewed by the New York Times showed that the lobbyists seemed to keep open the possibility that the private equity firm would return to their plans for Trump merchandise. But next time, they would just ask for permission. Neither the private equity firm or its lobbying firm gave a direct answer when the Times asked if the plans for Trump merchandise had been canceled. There are many thoughts on strategy, the firm's lobbyists said. How vague. So let this be a lesson out there, I guess, to all the corporations and lobbyists trying to suck up to Trump. Can't just stick his face and name on the stuff. Can't just do that. You have to make sure you give the guy some money, too. Thing.
I love that for those companies. The part I want to talk about is the very first part about it, where we've had bills introduced to rename the Opera Center at the Kennedy Center for Melania Trump, and then the other bill to rename the entire Kennedy Center after Donald Trump. Donald Trump won't even attend the Kennedy Center honors because he knows that the people there hate his fucking guts. And the Kennedy Center was named after John F. Kennedy following his assassination as a lifetime tribute to the 35th president. The fact that that was even put into bill form, even if it wasn't intended to pass, is a disgrace and an insult to the memory of John F. Kennedy.